Okay, I was going to make a different video, but I got completely sidetracked on this 17 HMR 22 Win Mag sizing. It's two steps. First, I have to de-neck 17 HMRs and cut them down to a reasonable size. To do that, initially I found a washer that fit around. It was thin enough where if I adjusted my jaws, it would hook in there, lock down, and I could use my trimmer. I ordered, it'll be here next week, a 17 instead of a 22, so it should hopefully fit at least well enough to do what I want, because I can remove it and it'll work, but sometimes it'll warp the neck, it'll twist it up. Sometimes it will trim beautifully, but you know, 50-50 shot just doesn't cut it. So what I did was I drilled out a 9mm because there's enough thickness. My original attempt was with a 25 auto, but one size below the diameter I need, the rim came off. So yeah. It almost worked because these just fit inside of a 25 auto with almost no movement. And if it would have worked, it would have stabilized everything really nice. But I gave it a slight chamfer. Sorry. But not enough where it goes flush. That way the ball bearing can give it a little pressure and lock it in. But yeah, I don't have to adjust my jaws this way. It just fits in. Because I had to, remove the nut in here, take it out, unscrew it enough to get that in, tighten it down. I don't know how many of you have messed with this to get it to lock just where you want it. But then when I'm doing, anything else, I'd have to readjust it because it was just too far out of whack for anything. But with this, I can lock her down. It doesn't fit as nicely in here, obviously, but like I say, this, well, the nose will just start, but I can get in there, lock her down, and when I get a smaller pilot, I can use my drill and take the neck off, then change actually to the 22 and take her down closer to size, because the final size is after it's de-rimmed. So yeah, there's more steps to this than I expected, but still, it's gonna make some lovely bullets. The next step is let's see, for those and 22 mags. Once you get them all down and drawn out, they look like this. Actually, they're a little longer because I trimmed these a little. I finally messed with them today. But what I did for that, because unfortunately I couldn't figure out how to make this work. Take a 22 Win Mag, and once these are drawn down, they fit right inside. And I found something today that I didn't realize. I must have had a de-rimmed 22 long rifle that got mixed in when I tumbled some brass, and it fit down in there and it wedged and I could not get it out, so I had to toss a otherwise perfectly good Win Mag. So yeah, when you tumble, don't mix Win Mags and 22 long rifle, because the 22 long rifle is just small enough where same thing happens, only even easier with 223. Before the been resized, they'll fit in and they'll jam right in and nothing gets cleaned. And in the case of a de-rimmed one, you can't get that sucker out, so you lose 2 pieces of brass. But yeah, let me see. What I did was it came out more artsy. Hey, who says reloading isn't an art form? I needed to put an angle on here, but I didn't want to risk trying to cut off another finger on my table saw. Yes, I've been there and done that. I didn't cut it off, but I had plenty of damage. My bowling ball doesn't fit right anymore on my thumb. But with this, I had to make it fit mini cutoff saw and all its oddities. Oh, its little quirks and features. Like here, the way this is, the jaw that's normally on here, I removed that. The slides there. Sadly, what they should have done is put a couple grooves in there in a big flat space, but all they did was they give you this little crappy thing. So it was really hard to figure out what to do. So what I did was I cut this out to fit right on there. And then I drilled that just a bit so that it goes right in. I had to cut around this, I had to cut around that, and where the motor is, I had to work that out. But my ejector pin from a finishing nail with the end ground off, and the sized, this is cut down, remember, so it'll go in a bit further. Let me find my, if I take my D-rim die, it'll fit. I push that right in. Shimmer to length. When you're done, you just tappy tap tap until she comes out. And since I don't have two hands, it'll probably, there. So yeah, I was gonna do annealing brass and, you know, prepping that, but well, I guess it's related, so it's just after all that stuff. But yeah, I've been wondering how to do that. I kind of had the denecking with 17 HMRs figured out, but I couldn't quite figure out how to do. I was going to take this, put in a 22 Win Mag with a tappy hole. I was going to put that in there, and then put this in. If you tap it, it will wedge, but just not quite enough. So that would have been beautiful because it would have been just one tool and, you know, just sit there and bang them out. But oh well, what can you do? As long as it all works in the end, I'm happy. Oh yeah. Give me a second here. Where did I put that? So give you an idea of how long my bi-cores drop. Okay, got a Win Mag. Unfortunately, I can't really do that. It's roughly 100 grain together, depending. CCIs are a little lighter, it sticks out. The ones with a T, I don't know what brand they are. They're heavier, and they come pretty much flush. There's like a grain difference, I think. But that give you an idea of how long those cores are, when the normal ones would be, what, like 60% of it? Alright, well, I figured I'd give you that little update. Should have all my stuff next week, and we can continue then. All right, have a good one. Bye. Hey, if anybody can make up something like this in aluminum, let me know. Be optimal is an adjustable depth stop that I can just screw them right out the end. You know, let them fit snugly. It doesn't have to be that size. My first attempts were like 3/4 inch square by 1.5 inches long, but I was trying to balance them on that little thin part, and then the one I made a little bigger, all cut up. Almost finished it, and the stupid thing split while I was finishing cutting around that part. So yeah, I'm just I don't have stuff to work with like that, any milling machines or anything like that. I'm just, you know, hacking away with table saw and drill press basically. All right, let me know if anybody can do that and work something out. People make jigs for those cutoff saws for 300 blackout, but not 22 HMR or anything. All right, thanks. Have a good one. Bye.